Unlike Ballora, Funtime Foxy is motion activated. For this reason, it's important to keep the room dark, as to not accidentally activate her. You have been provided with a flash beacon. Use it if you need to get your bearings and to ensure you don't bump into anything. However, use it as sparingly as possible. Proceed forward to reach the parts and service room.
Five Nights at Freddy's is notoriously known for hiding in-game secrets, Easter eggs, and clues for the community to discover. Whether it be your first time playing the game or you're just a loyal fan, it's basically impossible not to stumble across a secret or rare event purposely placed inside the game. While some of these Easter eggs have been solved due to future installations in the franchise, others seemingly get forgotten since they either don't get explained further or are just too confusing to deal with. This topic matches perfectly with today's video on the highly confusing animatronics named Yenndo from Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. For years, fans have been speculating on what Yenndo truly is, as the animatronic is weirdly never explained and is never further built upon in the franchise. He first appears in Night 3 in Funtime Foxy's auditorium. When using the flash beacon while traversing the room, the player has an extremely rare chance of seeing Yenndo instead of the normal sighting of Funtime Foxy. He appears to be stationary while holding eye contact towards the player, unlike Funtime Foxy, who looks like the average junkie you would see downtown. Anyways, he also appears in the ultimate custom night mode of the game, having the role of appearing randomly, disregarding security doors, and taking away oxygen while he stays in your office. However, this can easily be solved by simply pulling up your security camera and letting him feel depressed about you not giving him enough attention. An important key factor is that Yenndo surprisingly matches Golden Freddy's characteristics from the rest of the FNaF games. He holds the same role of Golden Freddy in Ultimate Custom Night. He has a very rare chance of appearing inside the game, and he's also named Yenndo, which could be a combination of yellow and endo, which also fits Golden Freddy's color scheme. However, there are multiple fan theories about what this anomaly truly is, each having very strong reasons why they would be true. So the question of the day is, what really is Yenndo, and can we solve who he is before it's actually stated inside the story? Well, let's get into it. The first theory is that Yenndo is actually a failed prototype of Funtime Freddy. This goes without saying, but Yenndo is shockingly similar to Funtime Freddy in terms of structure without the inclusion of Bon attached to him. The theory goes that Yenndo was originally supposed to be Funtime Freddy, but lacked the parts or resources to become him, so he ended up being a scrapped animatronic with no outer shell. It's a pretty simple and basic theory, but it's not impossible to be true. The only exception that makes this theory less likely is the unknown reason as to why Yenndo would be scrapped. If resources were a problem, then why was he ever built in the first place? Surely William Afton would have looked ahead of his planning and realized he couldn't build Yenndo due to technical or budget difficulties. Overall, it's a believable concept, but there are some things that would need more explanation to make it truly fit. In Night 4 of the game, many fans are intrigued into what the springlock suit you're held captive in really is. People have theorized it may be Funtime Chica, but people have also theorized that Yenndo could be the Endoskeleton, which originally belonged to the suit Michael is caged in. This mainly goes off the fact that both Yenndo and the springlock suit are found in the same part of the facility, but it's pretty unlikely since both have different shapes and it doesn't have enough evidence to support it. But it still could happen, I guess. The third theory goes that Yenndo is actually a manifestation of Remnant, specifically when talking about Cassidy and the Crying Child. Given Yendo's color and ghostly behavior, some believe that Yenndo is actually a hallucination or projection of the two relentless spirits. This theory spreads into believing that the sister location animatronics are composed of the original MCI victims, which is never stated but objectively believed to be true. It would also make sense with Yendo's fast appearances, as he suddenly has the ability to appear out of nowhere and disappear instantly in both Custom Night and Night 3 of the game. It's a very solid theory and honestly is the most believable so far. Molten Freddy in Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria Simulator is believed to be a blob-like formation of all the main animatronics in sister location. But the main question is, was Yenndo ever a part of this agreement? It's unclear whether Yenndo is combined with Molten Freddy, as he never appeared on screen to be scooped. The original combination of Ennard also doesn't appear to have any Yenndo-like features. So is he a part of Molten Freddy, or was he left behind in the facility? I guess we'll never know. This one is just a fun fan theory that Yenddo's main role is actually just being a good boy. Much like Foxy from FNaF 1, some fans believe that since Yenndo never actually kills you in Night 3 when you see him, he is actually just trying to say hi to you, having perfect eye contact and everything else. Overall, it's obviously a joke and isn't canon to the main lore, but it's just a way for fans to have fun when theorizing. Since we're in the Mimic era now, some fans speculate that Yenndo is actually an earlier version of the Mimic Endoskeleton. This goes off the fact that Yenndo appears to sometimes mimic or have characteristics of Golden Freddy and Funtime Freddy in the game. He is also a suitless animatronic endoskeleton, which the Mimic Endoskeleton is also. This theory basically sets the purpose of Yenndo as it tries to tie him to the modern game lore. It's not a terrible theory, as Sister Location itself is believed to be the improvised foundation of Edwin's factory from Secret of the Mimic. So it can be plausible, but most likely isn't true since Yenndo just simply doesn't look as close to the Mimic and is never seen wearing any other outer shells. But again, it's possible. This is the most popular theory of who Yenndo really is, which I actually already stated. Basically, Yenndo is supposed to take the place of Golden Freddy in FNaF Sister Location, since he resembles his color, his figure, and aura. The theory suggests that Yenndo is supposed to be a Funtime version of Golden Freddy, which was originally intended to be in the Funtime Auditorium but was later scrapped due to unknown reasons. Overall, it makes the idea that Golden Freddy actually appeared in all the original 5 games, which is pretty cool. This one isn't talked about as nearly as much as it should be, but when researching about Yenndo, found a video explaining that he could be the animatronic endoskeleton of Lefty, which we see in FNaF Pizzeria Simulator. Honestly, when comparing the two animatronics, they do look very similar in design. Both are animatronic bears, both have yellow eyes, both hold a circle in the middle of their belly, except for the fact that Lefty only has one eye because, well, he's Lefty. It's actually a very believable theory, which would explain what Yenndo became after Sister Location. Now we're heading into the unlikely or impossible theories that explain what Yenndo could be. These theories either don't have enough information or are just plain wrong in the lore, so let's try and get into them as fast as possible to not waste any more time. This theory has the idea that Yenndo was actually a broken Chica's Party World animatronic, which was a location stated in the game multiple times but never actually seen. Overall, the theory again just tries to give purpose to Yenndo but doesn't actually have any evidence to back it up. At first glance, this theory makes sense. The idea is that Yenndo is actually the Funtime Freddy version for Bonnett, who we see in Ultimate Custom Night. This gives Bonnett a place in Sister Location even though we never see her. But this theory is actually just straight up false since Bonnett is believed to be her own animatronic without any addition added to her. It would have been a cool thought for sure, but I guess Scott had other plans. This is probably the most disappointing or underwhelming theory if it turns out to be true. In short, the theory goes that Yenndo is simply not important at all and was just a placeholder to discover because why not? Since fans have the idea that everything in FNaF has a purpose, this theory is looked down upon since it has absolutely no creativity and most likely isn't true since Scott always adds things for players to help or add to the story. Overall, all of the theories I just stated each have their own compelling reasons to be true, even if some of them are straight up proven to be false. Personally, I believe that Yenndo being a representation of Molten Freddy is the most accurate, but what do you think? Do you think he's just a prototype? Do you think he's just simply useless? Let me know in the comments down below. This is Buff Ben, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. If you want your own video like this, but don't know how to edit or get it out to the world, hit me up on my PayPal. For only $5, I will make your theory vid and credit you for it. It could also be any other game aside from FNaF in the exact same format. Anyways, now I'm really going. See you guys.